everyone. I'm Mary Fain Brandt, the host of this show, Bite-Sized Tips for Busy Entrepreneurs.
Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, I think this is my 5th live this week. It has been a busy week over here at Mary Fain Brandt Coaching and Consulting. Hey, that's me, Mary Fain Brandt. Thanks for joining us today. This is a free live training. Yep, free, one of my favorite 4-letter words after sale. So today I've got my good friend and colleague, Stephanie Nivinskus from Sizzle Force, joining us to help us navigate marketing. I don't know, but raise your hand if you're actively doing marketing to sell your services or products. All your hands should be up. Next question. Have you ever had a launch sizzle out? True story. My very first course that I launched, I did the webinar and I made some mistakes in the marketing. I wasn't on camera. I was so nervous that I wanted to read this script that I wasn't on camera, and it was very robotic-like, and I sold one full package. I made $1,000 off my very first course that I launched. Epic fail in my book, but I did launch it. But I've learned so much since then, and thankfully today you can learn from my good friend Stephanie on why people aren't buying your products or services and what you can do about it. So without further ado, let's bring my girl Stephanie up on stage. Hey.
Hey, Mary. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. I'm fixing that. Why didn't that work? I love technology. So, I've worked with you in the past. You're an amazing copywriter, marketer, really the full package. You can help someone from concept to launch there, right? Learning all the marketing and email. You always tell me, I remember years ago, email marketing isn't dead. Like, I remember those words coming out of your mouth, And I'm happy to say that I actually use email marketing now, and it's not dead. So I'm looking.
It's still not dead.
Yeah. So I'm looking over on LinkedIn to make sure we're live. And I see us, but I don't see your lovely face. We might be having some technical difficulties. I'm going to take you out and bring you back in and see if it fixes that. So hold on, everyone.
Okay.
30 seconds here. So gotta love technology, right? Like I said, this is my 5th live in 2 days. Let's see. So I'm going to see if that brings you into the screen because you are not appearing. You guys, can you see Stephanie on your side, like on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn? Let me see. LinkedIn is catching up. Little lag time. Gotta love technology. I love it when it works, and I hate it when it doesn't. So for whatever reason, your lovely face is not showing on LinkedIn. Is it just a LinkedIn issue, or is it Facebook too? Let me see. We've got some comments over here. She's in a black box. No on Facebook. I thought maybe Stephanie was doing that to drive your point home about showing one's face. Okay, so for whatever reason, we can't see your lovely face, Stephanie.
I brushed my hair and everything. Oh,
you guys, she looks lovely. Oh, wait. Nancy just said, there she is. Tim said, now I see her. Thank you, Jesus. I'm telling you, the show must go on. Now, I still don't see her, but there's a little bit of a lag time. So, Nancy, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Tim, for staying with us as we work out some technology. So, everyone, this is my girl, Stephanie. She is amazing. And she's like, Mary, do you want me to do like a free training for your community? And I was like, well, yes, because I know personally how hard a launch is, how hard it is to sell your services and products, even if you're the shizzle and you know it, and like, you can help someone, you can transform their life. A lot of times it's about getting our message out there and how we do it. So Stephanie, you said there's 5 reasons why people are not buying what you're selling.
Yeah.
So do you want to dive into what those reasons are?
Yeah, for sure. So what I want to start with is by telling you guys, really, if you're not selling based on emotions and you're not getting any sales, well, that's why. Okay. Because people buy based on emotions. 90% of purchases are based on emotions. 90, like 90, not 19, not 9, 90. Percent of purchases are based on emotions. So you have to use what I call emotional motivators. And I think there are 5 that are really, really important to consider. And Mary, I could share a little, I can say what the 5 are, and then if you want to dig in deeper to details, we can talk about that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's list what those are, and then we can dive into those.
Okay, fantastic. So the first emotional motivator is pride. The second one is a desire for a better life. Then you've got a sense of belonging, a desire to have a sense of belonging, a desire to have a sense of security, and finally, fear of missing out.
Oh, that's mine. FOMO. I have FOMO really bad, like when there's big conferences. I have a lot of FOMO that I'm going to miss out. Right, Tim? Right, Nancy? I'm going to miss out of social media marketing world, VidCon. FOMO is a real thing for me, you guys.
Me too.
So let's start. I'm putting those all in the chat here over on the comments so everyone can see that. So Nancy says, yes, I have those feelings too, right? Who doesn't have a little FOMO from time to time? So I'm wondering, let's start with that one. I want to, because that is like a big one for, I think, my audience.
Sure.
We work in social media, a lot of consultants. Tim also says yes to FOMO. The comments are coming in. Laura says, yes, FOMO. Hey, ladies. Lauren Cohen is joining us. Thank you for joining us today. So let's talk about FOMO. I know that May King, a colleague of mine in London, she is like the creator of FOMO. That's her thing. And she helps create FOMO for shows, for launches. But tell me, Stephanie, how do we create that FOMO for our products?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Let's be real. Nobody wants to miss out on anything. I think the comments have just told us that, right? If we look at what some huge companies do, right? Next time you go to buy an airline ticket, notice how it'll tell you there's only 2 seats left, right? That's FOMO, right? Countdown timers, that plays into FOMO. Telling them that you won't be recording the webinar you're doing, or the live won't be watchable after the live showing of it. That all plays into FOMO. And people in the event industry do this beautifully. A lot of people that are doing online launches have gotten really good at playing into FOMO. Really, what you need to do is make this a key priority to let people know, no, you can't access this forever. You can't do this forever. You can't sit on the fence for the next 5 years and think about it. You need to take action.
I think that's key, that you've got to take action. So I know that, let me take that off. I know that a lot of people say, closing the doors. Like if you're selling a program or a coaching thing, people say, the doors close Wednesday at 5 p.m. Yeah. That's critical to have that in your marketing, right? Because you're telling people, like you said, they've got to take action.
Yeah, well, and I take this lesson from coupons, right? Like I think about when I was
expiration date.
Right? Okay, when I was a kid and my mom used coupons at the grocery store, there were always expiration dates, and she had to get in because the can of peas was not going to be available for 25 cents less if she waited until tomorrow, right? And the coupon industry taught us that this works so beautifully, right? And so we just take a nod from those who have gone before us and marketed like crazy and follow that lead. When it comes to like saying the doors are closing, I really like to play into this because people by nature are procrastinators, right? Yeah. And people will just wait and wait and wait and wait. Why? I don't know. But it seems to be how much of the population is wired, right? Especially here in Southern California. Like we're just like, yeah, I'll get to it like 1 minute before the doors close, right? But so that's why when I'm doing a launch myself, I'm going to send out the message that says doors close Wednesday. And then I'm going to say, hey, it's Wednesday, doors close today. And then I'm going to send another message that says doors close in 4 hours. And then another message, doors close in an hour, doors close in 10 minutes. Okay. And some of you might be going like, oh my gosh, she's one of those annoying people that like won't stop showing up. And you know what? You're right. And you know why? Because it works. It works.
I love it. So Nancy says, we have to convince ourselves that it is really worth the investment, so we wait. And so, I'm on both sides. I'm the victim that I wait, right? Like I want to think about it, and then I get distracted, right? Glitter, glitter, something's over on my left side, or I've got to read that email. So I got to jump over to LinkedIn. And so I leave the email. So then the next day I get another reminder, and that might be the trigger to make me say yes and to commit. So it's about being consistent in our FOMO tactics. And so it is okay to send 3 or 4 emails the day that something is closing, because you're simply reminding your audience. I like that.
And in all honesty, those emails, when I've been on the receiving end of them, they have helped me. I am a busy woman. I am constantly being pulled in a million directions. And I think probably everyone in your audience is the same, right? Whether it's work obligations or, obligations to family or whatever. We all have 500 things pulling for our attention. And so we are a very, very easily distracted culture, which means we might start to register for something, right? Or we might start to fill out our credit card information to buy something online, but then the baby cries, or dinner has to be made, or the deadline is looming with the client, or you have to get into a meeting. And so you have to stop midway. And if someone doesn't remind you to come back, you might totally forget and be super bummed when you miss out on what you really wanted.
Yeah. So Lauren said, I just had a bunch of complaints about this. I think it also depends a bit on your target market. So Lauren, did you mean that someone complained to you that you sent too many emails? Well, they can unsubscribe to your list, right?
Yeah,
you don't want those people anyways. If they're just going to complain, because if I get too many, if someone's launching something, I understand I'm going to get multiple emails. So I'll just delete the ones that are irrelevant. And if someone's annoying to me, then I'm not their ideal client. So I should unsubscribe.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's move on. You said pride. Tell me what pride. What do you mean by that when this is one of the reasons that people aren't buying what we're selling?
Okay, so people buy things because of their sense of pride, right? By nature, we all want to look smarter. We all want to look better. We all want to look more attractive. We all want to, have something that is tied at its core to pride, right? At the very least, I would say most people really want to impress someone in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Now, of course, like my late father-in-law was like, I don't care what anyone thinks, right? And there are people like that, right? But most of us are not like that, especially if we are business owners, because we're in the business of selling whatever it is that we sell, right? One example I like to point to when it comes to pride is Mercedes, okay? Why do people buy Mercedes? Is it really the absolute incredible engineering of the car? Well, some might argue yes, but is it really? Is that really why people buy it, right? Because there's lots of cars with impeccable engineering, right? Does it have more to do with status, which is tied to pride, right? If you drive a Mercedes, you make a certain statement to a certain group of people, whether it's your neighbors or your coworkers or your family. It's saying, I am successful enough to have this car. Now, whether or not you're dripping in debt because you have it or you paid in cash for it, that's your dirty little secret that you get to keep inside, right? But people buy products because it makes them look better, smarter, faster, richer, whatever it is. So it's super important in your messaging to tie into that and tell them how it's going to make their whatever better. Okay. Now Mercedes isn't going to say, if you buy our car, you're going to look richer to your friends. It's not like that. It's more subtle, but it is the same thing. It's, every commercial, you see the car winding down the windy road and there's no traffic ever, right? It's always a beautiful scene where you're driving. You're never on the 5A to 5 merge, right? You're always in this beautiful wooded land, where no one is bothering you and you have peace and beautiful music is playing in the car and your life is just perfect, right? But it shows this, it communicates this certain high level of lifestyle. You have time for luxurious drives and on windy roads in the woods, right? Like things like that.
I know, it's always perfect, right?
It is. It's always perfect. But if it's important to somebody to communicate status, wealth, whatnot, they're going to drive a luxury car. If that's something. Now, they're not going to confess to that being important to them, but it is, right? Yeah. Which is why they drive those cars. Right. So if you want to sell more, you need to make sure that your marketing messages are showcasing how your product or service will make them look the way they want to look.
I love it. Let's talk about belonging, belonging to something.
Yeah.
to community, something, they need to be part of something bigger. So is there certain industries that this might work better at, like building that community on belonging to something? Can you talk a little bit how we can use that emotion to sell our products and services?
Yeah, sure. I think this works across every single industry. In fact, I can't think of one where this would not be an important thing. People are born with an innate desire to belong to something bigger than themselves, right? Billions and billions of dollars are spent every year by people that are joining something because they want to belong to it, whether it's a membership at the local country club, whether it's putting your kids in Girl Scouts, whether it's being in Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club, whether it's joining a business mastermind, right? We all want to belong to something that is bigger than ourselves, right? And so when you're working on your sales messaging and you're trying to tie in this sense of belonging, you need to make sure that you tell people how purchasing this will allow them to be part of something bigger than themselves. Now, this can be something bigger than themselves because you have community and you offer that alongside whatever it is that you sell, but it can look in a lot of different ways as well. Like, for example, maybe you buy a product from a company that donates something with every purchase, right? And you're really passionate about that. Like, I think about Tom's shoes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I love them.
Yeah. So Tom's shoes, right? You buy your Tom's shoes and you know that when you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, they're going to donate another pair of shoes to a child in need, right? It's a very feel-good thing, but you feel like you belong to a purpose bigger than yourself, right? It is an emotional motivator. Yes, I want new shoes. I want new cute shoes. I want new Toms. But hey, it's an awesome bonus knowing that this is also going to help some kid that doesn't have shoes somewhere, right?
I love Tom's. I use that analogy all the time. If I'm going to buy something and there's 3 companies and it's all about the same pricing and it's all relatively the same product per se, but one has a give back component, I'm buying that one. My husband's iPod, which is ancient now, but it's the red iPod years ago, and they gave like 10% to AIDS Foundation.
Yeah.
So I was going to buy him an iPod anyways, but it had that give back component. And we did that with the master class that you were part of.
Right.
Everyone raved about your session, but we, all the VIP sales for the kit upgrade, we donated to Benavia, and I just dropped off that check like 2 weeks ago to them.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that sense of belonging, sometimes, like I said, it goes back to like, maybe you have a community, right? All of the people that are watching this training are part of Mary's LinkedIn community and Facebook community and wherever else she's broadcasting it, right? But it doesn't always have to be so direct, right? People can also feel a sense of belonging. Like, what if you're selling a position at your company, right? You're trying to recruit people for new jobs, right? And it used to be where, the employer had all the power, but now, especially right now in today's market, the employees seem to have all the power. So if you're trying to, quote unquote, sell a job, telling your prospective employee that, oh, when you join our company, we have happy hour every Friday night, and Tuesday night is, Taco Tuesday at the end of the workday, right? Things like that, that sense of belonging makes people want to join.
Absolutely. I love it. So we have the other ones, we have 2 left. Mm-hmm. Security. Yeah. How do we market security in our launches, our products, our services? Like we have a lot of social media people watching. And then we got my girl, Shelly Mitch, down in San Diego. She's a mobile notary. A new mobile notary. So security, I can see how that, in her marketing, people need to feel secure when they hire her. But how do we, as people that are launching online courses, master classes, consulting services. How do we use security to get people to buy our products and services?
Yeah. Okay. So if you're launching something online, a masterclass, like you said, Mary, security is knowing that you're not an imposter, right? I mean, how many people suffer from imposter syndrome, right? They want to position themselves as experts. They know they have value to bring to the table, but then that little voice creeps in your head and you're like, I'm an imposter. When are they going to figure me out? Right? Things like that, right? Security, for example, if I, let me back this up a little bit, right? So Mary, you help people do all their good things on LinkedIn, right? If I am using LinkedIn to grow my business, but I'm not sure I'm really doing it right, I feel a lack of security, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like, oh gosh, I'm spending all this time. I might be spending money trying to do this, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm putting my time in the right places. I don't know if I'm saying the right things. And it makes you vulnerable and insecure, right? And so playing into that, if you want to sell more of your services, you would say, look, it can be intimidating jumping onto a social media platform like LinkedIn. It can be really intimidating doing outreach for the first time if you're not used to using, Sales Navigator or whatever it is. I help you squash that fear, right? I mean, you wouldn't say I'm going to squash the fear, but you would say something like, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process that is super easy to implement, that you can get done in as little as 15 minutes a day and realize a 50% increase in visibility or something like that. Right?
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
It just makes it so it's not as scary and intimidating, and we need to make people feel more secure with our purchases.
I like it. So the last one is a better life. What did you, is that how you worded it?
Yeah, a better life. So people, this kind of plays into the pride one. It's kind of similar, but as much as we wish everybody was fully content with their life just as it is, human nature once again shows up, and no, we're usually not. Usually somebody always wants one of the following: a better job, more money, a happier family, to reach their goal weight, whatever it is, right? There is something that we all want, and we feel like if we had this, our life would be better. So I like to think of an example that I saw on YouTube recently, and you guys may have seen this, right? It was an ad that came up for VRBO, and VRBO is selling. You can rent this place for a week and stay somewhere, and have, instead of the hotel experience, right? But they didn't say any of that in the marketing message, right? In the ad itself, it started by showing a scene in a living room with a roaring fire and blankets and couches and a grandson playing chess with his grandpa, right? It just showed this sweet moment, like storybook moment, right? And then it kind of panned over into the dining room, and it showed the table being set up and then the wonderful meal being prepared. It could have been a Thanksgiving meal kind of thing, right? The great conversation, the laughing, the hugging, all of that. They were playing into the emotional motivator, which is the desire for a better life. That is an example of a better life.
Good example.
Yeah, of a better life for a lot of people, right? So if you want to sell more, you're going to get really good at including positive mental pictures that show the positive experiences people are going to have as a result of your product or service, right? And you do that visually, you do it audibly, you do it, you want to play into every sense possible, depending on what you sell.
Okay, I like it. So just to recap, we need to use emotions, right? We need to play or touch on the emotions of our buyers in order to get them to click and buy, basically. And so FOMO is probably the one that I'm going to lean on because I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I have FOMO all the time. Pride. So that Mercedes, I love that you're giving us real life examples like that pride in their lifestyle, pride in their knowledge, pride in how they look, a desire for a better life, whether it's to lose weight, to grow their business, to, a better life. Belonging. So we all love to belong to something that's bigger than us, a community. I like that. And security, that I'm going to be smarter if I take this course. I'm going to learn how to be a better speaker if I enroll like in Toastmasters, that security of just, again, being better. I think that they almost all come together. They kind of have a little overlap, the pride, the sense of belonging, the desire for better life, security, and then FOMO is in its own category. FOMO, I think, is the strongest one at the end of that sales cycle. So I see you probably have to use all of these at some point in your sales cycle to really, because we don't know what someone is feeling or looking for. So having those 5 categories, our marketing, our email, our social posts, our graphics, they probably need to touch on all of those different areas, right?
They do. And a really good exercise, because I know you said a lot of people listening are social media marketers. You guys go to the social media marketing world sales page, read the copy and look for these. Okay.
Oh.
Watch their social promos, like, create a new folder in your inbox and save all of their emails that you get, right? And just look for them, because once you start looking, once you're aware of these messaging tactics, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, I see it, but I never saw it before. And when you watch how other people are using it successfully, it makes it a lot easier for you to use it in your own stuff.
I love it. Well, we're going to wrap up this training because I want to respect everyone's time of like a 30-minute commitment. You guys will see on the bottom of the screen, there is a link. Now, obviously, that's hard to copy, right? So I'm going to take that off. I did put it in the comments, and that is for the Small Business Challenge. Can you tell our audience what is the Small Business Challenge? How long is it going for? Who is it for? Because I know my girl Shelly was going to sign up for it. I'm probably going to go through it again because I always learn something new when I sign up for the challenge. And I want to just tell people, there's a lot of challenges going on. I get that. And sometimes we go into these thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to learn every single thing I need to know. I like to go into a challenge or a master class with the take 3. I'm going to take 3 amazing tips away. And that's going to get me closer to reaching my goals. Because I think if we go in like, oh my gosh, I'm going to learn everything I need to on marketing or the small business, where they are struggling, it gets a little overwhelming and we tend to check out. I don't know. Yeah. So I always go in like when I'm listening to someone talk, if I'm attending a master class, I'm walking away with 3 amazing tips and action items that I can do. That's
I love that.
How I do it.
I love that. And, if anyone thinks they're going to learn everything about marketing in one masterclass, let me just tell you this. I've been in marketing for 26 years. I'm still learning every day. So good luck with that.
Right? Yeah. It's like, oh, can you teach me LinkedIn in a day? No.
Right. But what I can tell you, the Small Business Marketing Challenge is so cool. And you guys should sign up. Mary put her link in there. But it is a 5-day challenge. It's going to take 1 hour of your time every day for 5 days next week. Okay. And I'm going to play into the FOMO right now and let you know, no, it is not available for you to do the week after or the week after that. And no, we're not going to send you recordings. You either are in and you're there and you make it a priority to grow, or you miss out and you will miss out. So let me tell you what we're going to be covering in the 5 days. And this is all free, just so you know. It's FREE. Okay. So we are going to teach you how to attract oodles of qualified leads using one of the most powerful free marketing tools. We're going to teach you a trust building strategy that is absolutely proven that makes your ideal clients want to buy more of what you sell. Okay, we started talking about that today, but we just barely scratched the surface. We are going to build a plan with you that will help you strengthen your credibility and grow a community of raving fans who promote your business for you, which is like what's happening right now. Mary is promoting my business for me, and I, in turn, am going to promote her business for her because I'm going to share this live, right? We're also going to outline your marketing priorities because one of the biggest things I hear from people is there's so many things I could do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do first. So we're going to figure that out for you. And then I am going to give you guys just great fill in the blank templates that make implementing this stuff easy peasy lemon squeezy, because we all have plenty of knowledge up here. What we need to do is to take this knowledge and get stuff done, and that's the whole point of the Small Business Marketing Challenge. So it's 1 hour every week. 1 hour every day. Next week, it starts on Monday, October 25th. It ends on the 29th. We go live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you can follow Mary's link to save your spot. It's not open to the public. You have to register and save your spot to be able to access it.
Woo! So you guys register. I dropped that link like 3 times. Get registered today. It's free. You're going to walk away, I guarantee, with 3 amazing actionable tips. You've got templates. The online marketing priorities, I think that is huge. Because we're all little ADD. I call it glitter in my house. Shiny object, right? SOS, shiny object syndrome. So like we are that way in our marketing. What should you be working on? What should you focus on? So I think having that marketing priority list of, I need to start here before I jump over here. Like,
yeah, we're going to tell you, the answer is different for everyone, Mary. And I can tell you that you are going to walk away with 5 action steps to focus on over the next quarter. So you don't need to think about anything else. There's going to be 5 action steps. Check the box, check the box, check the box, grow your business.
Okay, I'm totally going to put it on my calendar now because I need to do it. I want to make sure I've already got my list for Q1, but I need to like whittle it down and see, what are my marketing priorities for 2022? Because that's really what we're working on here. Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time and telling us about the 5 emotional phases of how we can touch our potential clients, reach our target audience, and how we need to incorporate all of those so that we can, because we never know who we're talking to. We don't know which one means something to them. So we need to use all of those in our marketing, not just one. You guys, all of that is in the comments. The link to sign up for the Small Business Challenge is in the comments, and it starts Monday, right?
It starts Monday, and registration closes on Sunday.
Sign up now. Don't miss out. Okay, you guys, we've got to run. This has been a ton of fun, Stephanie. Thank you so much. And you guys, I'll see you Monday in the Marketing Challenge, and then next Wednesday, 5 p.m., it's 15 minutes of fame. I've got more LinkedIn updates. They've got so many new features coming down the pipeline that I couldn't fit them all in last night. So next week, I'm going to be talking about more updates coming down LinkedIn. I'll see you then. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.